Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Mike. I you may remember this face. I used to make videos for YouTube a long time ago, but it's been a while. Actually, I've only made three videos this year, 2025, and the last one was in February, so just kind of ran out of things to say. Haven't really been buying that many things, new films, new Blu-rays and all that. Mainly I've been getting rid of stuff. So, been working very hard to sort of decrease the collection, have more shelf space, and all this sort of thing. So, anyway, that's why I haven't been around. But finally, I have something to talk about. I bought some things during the most recent KINO-LORBER sale, the spring sale 2025, and also bought a few things that were not on sale from KINO-LORBER. Picked up one new Criterion that I wanted so badly, I didn't wait for the sale. I just went ahead and paid full price for it. Great film. And I got a couple of things today from Creepy Classics. So let me show you what I have here. First is I picked up this box set of the TV show Columbo, which I really have not seen that much of. During the years when this was playing on prime time, I was working nights and I pretty much missed all of it. I think over the years I've seen maybe 10 episodes and really enjoyed them when I did get a chance to see them in reruns or something because I'm a big fan of Peter Falk. And so I will enjoy digging into this. I haven't yet, but this is all seven seasons. So more TV to watch. All right. Next up, I'll show you the rest of the Kino-Lorbers. First off, I have this lowest of the low budget monogram horror films, Revenge of the Zombies, starring John Carradine and Gail Storm. And nice little slipcase here. Okay. I know how much we love slipcases. I do too. And so now I can finally throw away well, not throw away, but recycle my low budget alpha video version on DVD, which had pretty bad imagery, as a lot of alphas do, unfortunately. But I watched this and I was very impressed by the way it looked. I never realized what great imagery the film actually has. And it has a lot of comedy. I would say it's probably 50% comedy because famous comedian Mantan Moreland is one of the stars of the film. And I love Mantan Moreland. I love his films with Frankie Darro. I have a lot of them. But in a film like this, when you have John Carradine playing a mad doctor, and you have some good black and white imagery, I would appreciate it if it was more of a straight horror film. But Monogram and a lot of the other studios did the same thing that Universal did back in the 1930s, and they added so much comedy to their horror films. And I think they did that to soften the effect on the audiences because back then it was kind of controversial. Horror was supposedly not good for people. It probably isn't, but anyway, it's a good movie, and I'm glad that I have it. All right, next up is a film that came out in 3D. It's called Glass Web. Edward G. Robinson, John Forsythe, Marcia Henderson, and Kathleen Hughes. This is a movie I've never seen before, so it was a brand new experience. Another slipcase, and I started to watch it in 3D. The glasses are inside and I really didn't, I don't like wearing those glasses. So I decided to watch it just as a straight film. And it's a cool mystery. I don't think the 3D aspect, from what I could see, there isn't that much in this movie that requires the excitement of 3D. So it's okay to watch it in 2D. Edward G. Robinson. Never go wrong with him. Picked up this great little documentary called Liza, all about Liza Minnelli. Well, what is the full title of this? Get your glasses on, Mike. Come on. Okay, Liza, a truly terrific, absolutely true story. Directed by Bruce David Klein. Nice little overview of Liza Minnelli's career, specifically after the death of her mother, Judy Garland, in 1969, when Liza began to really come into her own and had a very long and prosperous career. And now she's not in very good health. This is how she looks today. And she is in the film, and she does have a lot of health problems, but she's smart as a whip, very funny, has a great sense of humor about herself and everything else, and has a lot of clips over the years, a lot of things I never saw from television shows when she was very young, starting out, and interviews with people like her sister Lorna Luft, uh, Mia Farrow, Joel Grey, Ben Vereen, and Cheetah Rivera, and some extra features as well. Nice little documentary. Okay. Next, I picked up this award-winning film from the 1950s, The Rose Tattoo, starring Anna Magnani, who was working in English, and Burt Lancaster, from a story by Tennessee Williams, written specifically for Anna Magnani. And I've only seen her in maybe one or two films, Italian films. She's wonderful. She's also exhausting. I mean, she is so full of energy and fire and passion and all that. Perfectly matched by Burt Lancaster, who was always good to watch. So yeah, and she won Best Actress for this film. And speaking of Burt Lancaster, we also have Comeback Little Sheba, where he co-starred with Shirley Booth, who won an Academy Award for Best Actress, 1952. This was from a play by William Inge. I think that Shirley Booth also was in the play. I'm not sure, but very downbeat, depressing story, but it does kind of uplift at the end. Thank God. Yeah, very dramatic. Okay. And decided to upgrade my DVD copy of Louis Malle's Pretty Baby from 1978, starring Brooke Shields, the film that brought her to prominence, made her a star at the age of 11. She was 11 when she started this film. She turned 12 while it was being made. And of course, it's a very dark and downbeat story. Really kind of just, well, no, it's not kind of, it's very disturbing. The older I get, I find myself being more disturbed by things that when I was much younger, they didn't bother me. But I saw this film when it came out in 1978, and it's an excellent film. Very, very good acting by everybody concerned. Brooke Shields is wonderful. Also, Keith Carradine, Susan Sarandon. Um, let's see. Well, also my favorite actress, Barbara Steele, has a very small part in this film. It's not really an important role, but it's great to see her. And I remember that when I went to see this in 1978, I didn't know she was in it. So when I saw her name in the cast, I almost jumped out of my seat. But yeah, I wanted to buy this because of the extra features. There was an interview with Brooke Shields. It's called The Experience of Innocence. And I wanted to hear what she had to say about what it was like to make this movie, to play this part. And it's very, very enlightening what she has to say. So it's a great film, great quality film. Although, as I said, it's very disturbing. But I would say, just it's kind of a cautionary recommendation, I would say. Certainly, it's not something I would want children to see, but yeah. All right. Then I bought these three film noir box sets, which Kino is putting out quite a bit. I think one or two of these were on sale. One was full price, but I'm not complaining. So one of these has, let's see, films I never heard of. Absolutely never heard of any of these, and I'm not sure I would actually classify them as film noir, at least all of them. But what do I know? That definition keeps expanding, right? So here's a film called Jennifer, starring Ida Lupino and Howard Duff. Very strange little film. And they were married at the time, and I'm not sure if this film brought on the divorce. I don't know. William Holden and Nancy Olson in Union Station. Of course, they had also worked together in um, the same year, 1950, in Sunset Boulevard. Also, Barry Fitzgerald and Jan Sterling. Very fast paced, dark, gritty caper film that takes place in Union Station in New York. And it's very well made, very exciting. Also, here's a little film called The Crooked Circle, starring an actor named John Smith. He plays a young boxer from out of town who comes to the big city, not knowing that he can't trust everybody because it's full of corruption. And John Smith, if you remember, he was one of the guys who starred in the TV show Laramie. along with Robert Fuller. So he was a big favorite of mine back in the day. And okay, let's get this one. Okay, here's a cool movie. Three more I never heard of. This is called Never Love a Stranger from 1958, starring John Drew Barrymore and Steve McQueen. I'm a big fan of John Drew Barrymore, and Steve McQueen, of course, was just starting out the same year that he made Blob. Okay, so here's a film starring James Cagney, Barbara Payton, Helena Carter, and Ward Bond, also produced by James Cagney. Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye, which this is interesting because it has an unbilled, very brief appearance by Yvette Vickers, the actress who very much a cult figure who was in um, Attack of the 50-Foot Woman and the Attack of the Giant Leeches. So, and she never really got her due in films. Much better actress than what she was given a chance to prove. Once again, we have Burt Lancaster in a film called Rope of Sand. Okay, The Rope of Sand, which I had never heard of. Burt Lancaster, Paul Henry, Claude Rains, Peter Lorre, and a beautiful French actress named Corinne Calvet, right? Nice little mystery. Nice little atmospheric film, all right? And this last box set has three films from Republic Studios, all directed by a gentleman named John H. Auer, H or Auer. And so this first one is The City That Never Sleeps, which I already had on DVD, but I'm glad to upgrade this. I gave the DVD to a friend. Gig Young, Mala Powers, William Tallman, Edward Arnold, Chill Wills, and Marie Windsor. Next is a film called The Flame, which I really like this one. This has John Carroll, Vera Ralston, Robert Page, and Broderick Crawford. Okay. I remember watching this when I was a kid. This is one I never heard of either. Hell's Half Acre, starring Wendell Corey, Evelyn Keyes, Elsa Lanchester, and once again Marie Windsor, who really is the queen of film noir, I think, for the 1950s. Very, very interesting actress. Okay, so the Criterion that I bought is a film from 1984 called Choose Me, directed by a guy named Alan Rudolph, who also directed a film you might have heard of called Welcome to LA. And he also directed one of my favorite films that you probably didn't hear of called Trouble in Mind. And Keith Carradine must have been his favorite actor. He was in all three of those films. This also has Leslie Ann Warren and Genevieve Bujold, Ray Don Chong, and John Larroquette. And I remember seeing this in 1984. I absolutely loved it, and I've seen it on cable TV a couple of times since then. But it's been a long time since I've seen this movie, and I'm so glad that it came out on Criterion. I highly recommend this. It's very well written, well acted. This was during the time Keith Carradine was very young. He still had that lean, hungry, dangerous look. Just looking into the guy's eyes, he just looks like somebody you need to back off of, you know. But great to watch, and it's sort of a strange love triangle between Carradine and the two actresses. Very, very well written. Okay, so and I got three films today from creepyclassics.com. And the first one is Bela Lugosi and John Carradine in Voodoo Man, one of the famous Lugosi Nine at Monogram Studios in the 1940s. And I thought I had a copy of this in my collection, but it seems to have disappeared into thin air. So I just went ahead and ordered this and got decided to get a Blu-ray this time. So, okay, very cool movie. Uh, this is from our good friends at Olive Films, which I believe has gone out of business. And they're notorious for not having extra features, but they do very good reproduction of their Blu-rays. So, yeah, John Carradine and Bela Lugosi. I also picked up 1960 The Time Machine, starring Rod Taylor, Alan Young, and Yvette Mimieux, also Sebastian Cabot. And I love this movie. I don't think I've seen it for probably 30 years. So this will be great to have. Uh-huh. The Time Machine. And it has a couple of extra features. One is called Behind the Scenes Documentary The Time Machine, The Journey Back, hosted by Rod Taylor and featuring Alan Young, okay? And a theatrical trailer. And finally, I got this Monster from the Ocean Floor. I think it was the first film directed by Roger Corman early in the early 1950s. And this is from Film Masters Special Edition. And the actors and actresses, I have no idea who they are. Ann Kimball, Stuart Wade, Dick Pinner. I heard one of my good friends, Dan Day Jr., on his blog was talking about this, and I was so intrigued by it. I don't think I've ever seen this, which I thought I had seen all the 1950s monster flicks, but I guess I have not seen this. Don't remember it. Loads of extra features, including a commentary by author and scholar Tom Weaver. And yeah, so sorry for that glare. And I ordered a fourth film from Creepy Classics. I wanted to get John Carpenter's Dark Star on Blu-ray, which I have never seen. Always wanted to, but it's not in stock. Should be back in stock soon. They will ship immediately. Best wishes. Thank you, Ron at Creepy Classics. Thanks, Michael. I bet you can't see that, can you? No, I'm sure you can't. Anyway, our good friends at Creepy Classics. So that is my update, and thank you for watching. Comments are welcome, and who knows, I may return someday before another 3 months is gone. Take care, folks.